Driving on the wrong side of the road. You must be over in Britain or something. Sorry about that, folks. I'm back. Sometimes those stairs. It's cold out. Stop it. Sorry about that. It's cold out and sometimes the stairs take the breath out of me. But I'm alright now. Back in action. What did I miss? I had to go get some 420. I got the 420 now. Heavy and OG. So with that, That's cool, dude, to be able to do carvings. To be able to do some carvings, that'd be awesome. I might be opening up a little shop there in the summertime. Under the table kind of shop I could sell to the tourists that come and go on the boat. Too bad you weren't live around here, dude. I can make you a fucking fortune. But if you're curious to see what I'm talking about, if you go into my playlist, I got a video when a couple years ago I sold my girlfriend's at the time's native crafts, beadwork, dream catchers, earrings, stuff like that. If you want to see what it looks like, go into my playlist. It's there. Chaz, you're 62. Nothing wrong with that, buddy. Nothing wrong with that. I learned at a young age, dude. My life was hard. My life was hard at a young age and now. So at a young age, I learned to respect the elders. Not for the fact that they're elders, because they lived longer than you and they learned how to deal with the fucking hardships. You know what I mean? And I had many. They survived long enough in this world to live to be that age. They deserve my respect. Because life fucking sucks. If you hear me talking, as you know, I'm close to the mic, but if I'm not and I'm typing, that means I'm down in the kitchen smoking me 420, me Alien OG. Boys, I'll be 42 Saturday. Never thought I'd see a day past 10. I'm hitting 42. Holy fuck, if you only knew, you would know what kind of a miracle it was to get here. And that's why I enjoy this view. And I finally found this nice apartment. And I got this awesome view. And I'm sharing it with you. Yeah, dude, I respect everyone, you know what I mean? I respect everyone till they do me wrong. Even though there's a lot of people that do me wrong that make me want to stick to myself, but I still take a chance and open it up because I respect people. I try to like them. I would do for someone what they wouldn't do for me. You know what I mean? I'm not kind of fucking good gay. That's true. The clouds aren't looking too shabby. I could do the mirror image, but nah, I want to keep this stream as a official, just only the stream of this church. This church was first built in 1853. It caught fire and it was rebuilt in 1910. It's got the highest steeple this side of Montreal, dude. Some people say that cross on the top of the steeple is 6 feet tall. But I don't believe it. I've seen it enough, and I don't believe it's 6 feet tall on the top. No fucking way. Because I see a crow sitting on there, and there's no fucking crows that are 6 feet. Nah, dude. This place, well, this stream is free to say whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. It's a free world and I'm on a free stream so people can state their mind, they can tell jokes, they can be whatever the fuck they want to be, because if that's the way they are, then that's the way they are. The only thing about this stream is probably different than the others. I actually got the PlayStation Network people come in and take a look-see at my streams. Because for some reason, they're fucking deleting me. They're deleting my streams, dude. I've seen on some of them, some streams that I could have over 100 people on there and they take away 100 views. So for some reason they're fucking me over, and oh well. I've been only on YouTube for 10 years. I've been live streaming for the last 3, and I just started webcamming about a week ago. Dude, you want to see, guy? Want me to show you a picture? I'm going to change the angle for a minute. Let's see if this is going to work. I'll give you a picture. I wonder if that's God. You know what God does? You know what Jesus does in my front room? Watch this, dude. Watch this. See if I can do it without it fucking falling off. Look at that mirror. Can you notice it? It's a reflection of the picture on the wall. But watch this. Can you notice the face moving? If you can't notice the face moving, take a look at his hair. There it is, you'll notice right now. Look at this. In case you're wondering, that's my nanny up above that died many years ago, and that's my niece that died a couple of years ago. I never want to forget their faces. But my mirror, reflection in the mirror of the Jesus picture, changes faces, dude. So he's in my front room. I think he might approve of the church as a place for him, but what the Roman Catholics done ever since it's been around, no. They killed millions of people in the name of the Lord, dude. That's not right. You know what I mean? And what the priests done in this day and age of all the pedophilia that they pull off, no, dude. See, what the church is, I believe, right, is the church is inside yourself, dude. Either you believe in it, you have a little faith, or not. You know what I mean? I don't agree with the church myself. That's a nice church over there. But really, I don't agree with the church, right? I heard that they want 10% of your wages, dude, if you're a part of their church congregation. Which is understandable, I guess. You can't heat it up with no money. But it's like you gotta pay to go in there. But I respect it, man. I respect everybody and whatever their ways are. I respect it all. Who am I? I'm the judge, dude. I don't judge because I've been judged and I'm still judged. So, to each his own for everybody. But one of these days, I'm going to go into that church. I'll go sit in that church and I'll take a video and put it on my channel here of what it looks like in there. Fucking church is beautiful, though, man. The craftsmanship that they did with those churches, they are awe-stricken. I just seen a movie on Netflix, two priests or two fathers, two popes or something like that. Check that out. The way some of them room looks in there. Oh, I'll show you a trick. I can show you a trick, dude. I got the key. Someone showed me the key to get to the heaven. I can show you the key. I can show you right now if you want. Well, I gotta finish me puff first. I'll show you something that'll blow your mind, dude. Watch this. I'll tell you a joke. Let me go do another puff, and I'll put myself on this can, and I'll show you something if you want. Everything is a sin today, dude. Everything is a sin. The whole world is built on the sins now. Oh, shit. That's not what I wanted. You want me to show you a trick? I'll show you a freaking trick here, folks. Give me a minute. I messed this up. You want me to show you a little trick on a, like a joke? Watch this. I'll do one tour around my apartment. You want to see it? Anyway, you want me to show you a little joke? I'll show you a little something right here. I shouldn't do this because it ruins the stream. I'm going to show you something. Oh, how I'm going to show you. Use this for you. See if I can show you this way. If you get notice. How you doing? I heard of a story. Piece of paper. Oh, a piece of paper. But there's a story that goes like this. You got two friends. Right? They're best friends their whole life. They're even born on the same day. They're in the same hospital. They grow up to be best friends their whole life, right? So, wherever you see one, you see the other. The way she goes, you know, you don't see one without seeing the other. They'll back each other up. They'll do everything with each other. One day, they went for a drive in their car. And when they went for the drive in the car, they got into an accident. And when they got into the accident, they went to the gates. And St. Peter's is at the gates of heaven. And he says, boys, you can't come in here unless you have a ticket. You need a ticket to get in there. So one guy says to the other guy, he says, oh, I don't got a ticket. And the other fella says, he reaches in his pocket, he pulls out a piece of paper. And he goes, oh, he says, I got this. And he says, well, you got a ticket. I don't got a ticket, man. I need a piece of ticket. I need a ticket. I'm not going to get in with you if I don't got the ticket. So he says, all right. He says, well, how about ripping me a piece of your ticket off so I could say to the keeper of the gate that I got a ticket. He says, all right. Here, I'll give you a piece of ticket. He gives him a piece of his ticket. Now he has this, and Buddy says, come on, man, you got to give me more a ticket than that. Because he's going to know it's not a full ticket. You got to give me more ticket than that so I can get in the gates with you. And his friend is like, oh, man, he's going to notice. Look at it. But, you know, they're best friends for life. And he says, okay. He says, here, I'll give you a piece of this ticket. You want a piece? You got it ripped. So he gives him another piece of ticket. Well, this guy's right happy. He's like, yes, I'll just tell him that I ripped it. Okay? So now the two guys are going back up to the main gates. St. Peter's there, and he looks at him. He says, boys, you need to get a ticket to get in here. One guy reaches in his pocket, and he says, I got a ticket, sir. He said, here's my ticket right here. St. Peter takes the ticket. He looks at it and he's like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. He opens it up. And he says, all right, you got your ticket. You're going to heaven. The other guy walks up to him and he says, bye. He says, I got a ticket too. But my ticket was all torn up. It was all ripped up. So St. Peter says, all right, he says, give me your ticket. He takes it and he starts looking at it. He starts playing it out. right? He starts playing it out. He does this. He goes, okay. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this up there, but I'm going to try it anyway. So St. Peter's standing there. He's like, all right, let's see what you got here. Let's see what you got here. What? Okay, he says, let's see what you got. It's going to be reversed though. I'll just do it reverse, I guess. How would I do that? Go like this. Dink. Dink, yep. He says, you got your ticket. He says, here. One guy got his ticket. His buddy got his ticket to heaven. One of these best friend got a ticket to hell. So St. Peter says, okay, you got your ticket. I should have done that a lot better than that. I should have practiced it a little bit or something to make it go. I'll do it again on the stream in the future, but that's what it is. So it's almost like the two best friends. One guy was always a good guy, and the other guy always got him in trouble. But the good guy was always dedicated and respected and honored his best friend. So when the time came and they both died at the same time, they both had a piece of ticket. The guy had the good ticket, and he was doing the good thing by giving his friend a piece of his ticket so he can get in to the gates with him. And at the time, there it is. One guy's going to heaven and the other guy's going to hell. I had to show you that. I know a couple little tricks like that. But that's knowing the ticket, folks. Know what I mean? I got the ticket. Now we're going to go back to our regular scheduled programming. I literally repeated first grade because my friend was stupid. Dude, you want to know my truth on that? I repeated third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade. I went from grade 6 right up to fucking high school, dude. That's how smart of a guy I was. Oh, we gotta move that around. Shit. Trying to find the right sweet spot, boys. Oh, here we go. We're going back to our regular scheduled programming. That was just, if people are still around to see what that little trick was there. That's a little trick they got if they stuck around long enough to see it. Now I just gotta change it. I was a hyper kid, dude. I was a hyperactive fucking kid. I didn't even know that I was that hyperactive kid. Then, well, our schools around here learned from me. You know what I mean? And that's true, dude. Our schools around here learned from a guy like me because they had to deal with me, and it gave them and opened up their mind on how things are mentally. You know what I mean? Psychologically, and in your home and stuff like that. For me, as I got older, dude, I had other things to worry about than school, right? School caused me a lot of trouble. Too many people. You know what I mean? As they say, the trollers. Too many bullies and assholes. Well, I didn't take to them. Those got me in more trouble. The difference between me and them is I had to go to another foster home. They get to go home to their parents, and I end up going with fucking another foster home or group home and got more charges. That's what I didn't like about that. I didn't like school, man. I had other things to worry about. They put me to grade 6 right up to grade 10 because I beat the shit out of my teacher right in the classroom in elementary. I did too, that's true. And if you, a couple years, like 20 years later, he was on TV, became Canada's second worst handyman. Oh, you fucking idiot. You do that shit to me and he can't even fucking follow instructions himself. The only reason why he was a French teacher because he was from fucking French. I did, dude. I was that kind of guy, that kind of kid, especially kid. I beat his head off right in the fucking classroom, right in front of 30 students. I had him right over his teacher's desk, right over the desk, fucking smacking him. Wasn't good. But times like that, you realize the signs that you got, right? Everything now, boys, that's many, many stories I got, but everything now is, God was meant for me to go through it, dude. It's all my fate and destiny. Things happen because they were supposed to happen. If they don't happen, then they weren't meant to happen. You graduated grade 12, I was 13. And half you, lucky smart cookie then, dude. That's smart cookie. I was saying that to my nephew the other day. I was saying it to one of my nephews. Imagine that I watched a documentary and it showed a kid that finished college at 13 years old. That's a fucking smart kid, man. And my nephew's 13 now. So I was like, imagine if you already went through high school and college. That's some pretty smart stuff. But hopefully these clouds light up a little bit, open up a little bit, and we get to see a little bit of his work. I'm not a religious guy, but I'm definitely a spiritual guy, folks. I gotta say, a coincidence is something that happens once in a while. But if you get a coincidence happens all the time, then they're signs. They're signs. And once you open up your eyes and see it for what it is, then you start seeing them all the time. There's no such thing as coincidences, some people will say, because it was meant to happen anyway. But I've been living on fate, rolling on that shit, man, since I was been 19. So when I moved out of age to the foster care, when I aged to the children's aid foster care, then, well, within a couple years later, I just said, fuck it. I'm just along for the ride, man. I'm just along for the ride. Everything's but a test. I want the steeple to show. Show me that steeple. You were homeschooled? Dude, when I was a little kid, 5 years old, they fucking like threw me out in the wild. You know what I mean? Had to learn everything else myself after that. And most people aren't good people. It took me a while to learn how to take them, though. It took me a long time to learn how to take them. I still haven't mastered it. But I do. I put it all in God's hands, man. I just let her go. Do whatever you're going to do, buddy. Good or bad. But one thing you got to learn as you get older, if your life's hard, you got to avoid it, making it harder. Know what I mean? You got to learn over time. That's awesome. I got 10 viewers in here right now. Oh. Boom. Just like that right there. See, told you. He's going to work his magic. If you're around me long enough, that's why people are scared of me, because I showed them things that they've never seen before. I point out the signs as they happen. It's supposed to be a good thing. It's a good thing. DTA, don't trust anybody. Yeah, dude, I lived like that most of my life, but you gotta take a chance sometimes, man. They're not all bad. If you met me and you met me now, I'm a person that you can trust, so they're not all bad, dude. But for the most part, you definitely, if you got the warning signs, you know what I mean? If you go by your gut instinct, yeah. But if you leave that wall up, then you'll never let anybody in, right? There is good people out there, man. And I'm one of them. When I aged out of foster care after a whole childhood in there, I started doing deliveries for like Sears franchise under the table. Well, I was getting it under the table. It wasn't a pay. It wasn't part-time. I was like a part-time as the delivery happens. And I did millions and millions and millions of dollars of that. After about 2 years when I first started it, then I realized that I can remember the drive down the road and everything. I realized, I guess that's what I'm here for. So I did the rest 18 years later. And I went and I delivered millions of dollars for Sears. I worked for thousands of people. But I was one of them kind of guys that would go in, say I delivered a fridge to an old lady's place. I would go in and take all the food out of her old fridge, bring in her new one, and then put all her food back in her new one. You know what I mean? I'd hook up their washers and dryers. I would put their beds together. I would go the extra mile. And I did it so many thousands of times in my community. And nobody realized it. Nobody cared. Nobody could see it for what it was. But I did all that stuff, dude. Well, I made the driver a shitload of money. You know what I mean? But I'm not about material things. Sometimes it gets to me because I wasted all that time, but I didn't really waste it, right? I helped my community. I grew up in that system, dude, and I got out and fucking for the next 18 years, I did deliveries and moved people's furnitures and bring them new furnitures and surprises. The Christmas time was always cool for me. Because if I did 5 deliveries that day or 10 deliveries that day, that would be 10 different homes. And I'd go in there at Christmas time and I would see every one of their decorations. I miss that side of it. And I'd have a couple of drinks with a couple of them. So I miss that side of it most of all. And I got no vehicle or no license or nothing because I'm a poor guy, right? So I was traveling all over the island and meeting people from all over the island and around the world and doing them solid favors. But I'm the forgotten son. Wilson, the will of the forgotten son. And that's what it is, the will of the forgotten son. I'm trying to be remembered. But I've done that with many people, dude. Many, many, many people. I worked for half the people that go to that church and they don't even know it. Nor will they ever want to help me. I'll be turning 42 on Saturday. And I've been homeless 35 times. Think about that for a minute. But every time I came back stronger than I was, dude. So, you know. It's the way she is. Oh yeah, you deliver pizzas to the homeless for free? Dude, I seen documentaries on people doing that on YouTube, and that's the kind of shit that can bring a fucking man like me to drop a tear. Because, you know what I mean? I do that, dude. I do that. And at the same token, I'm that guy on the shit end of that. You don't look at now because look at the view I got, but that's what hanging in there and keeping your head together. That's the kind of stuff you can't buy, dude. It might cost a person $50 to buy a couple of fucking pizzas. But when you go and give a slice of pizza to a guy outside that's starving and homeless, dude, that's the kind of stuff, that feeling you get, that's better than crack. That's better than alcohol, cigarette, nicotine. I was hooked on that, dude. I went hooked on that. Because, you know, you show up at a house and you got a washer and dryer stackable. And you got to bring it up 3 flights of stairs. And I got the thing over my head. And I'm carrying that and a dolly. Dude, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, dude. You better be fucking ready. I tested him and he tested me. Because I figured that you can't hurt me doing your will, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude, I've done a lot of things like that. I don't do that kind of stuff for the rich though, but I've done that. I had one of my buddies years ago, his sister, I'm just happened to be walking by and his sister's getting kicked out of the apartment and she got nobody to help them move and she got a truck and I walked by and she says, "Can you help me?" Blah, 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 and tells me the story. Sure, let's do it. And right then, right at the spot, right on the dime, I moved all of her stuff and brought it to her new house and helped set it all up, right? And I went and I seen her brother a couple hours after I finished. You know, he wasn't there, right? But I went and I smoked a puff with him. He thought I was gonna beat him up. It's like, nah, dude, we're buddies. We're friends, man. But I've done so many countless things like that I've done so many I forget. Trying to heal myself from the past, right? If you replace the bad memories with good memories, eventually you'll forget both. That's a trick I learned. I live it today, though. Reality is only now what I see. If I don't see it, I don't give a fuck about it. Sorry about that. I'll go back into the kitchen. But I know there's fucking 7 to 8, 10 people listening. I'll tell you one more little quick story that happened to me not too long ago. Early in the morning, I'm going to go down to Tim Hortons and get me a coffee, right? So I'm walking down this street right here, and there used to be a post office down the road. So I walked by the post office, and here there's a guy sitting on the step. Homeless guy. Got everything he owns with him. And I'm thinking, should I buy this guy a coffee? Or no? And I normally would. But on this time, I said, nah, I only got a couple of bucks on me. He probably got more than I do, right? In his pocket right now. So I said, no, I passed on him. I go and I grab my coffee. I end up coming back that same way. Buddy's still on the stairs. Now he's looking at me smiling. And I'm thinking, should I get him a coffee? Here, go buy yourself a coffee. I passed on it again. Because it's like I only got enough for one more. I only had enough for one more coffee later on that day or night, right? So I walks away. I get a call to go do a job, right? That's how I roll and I live, right? But I get a call to do a job. So here all of a sudden I'm downtown. I'm downtown peeling off floor tiles off the floor. There's a video of that on my stream, on my playlist too. But anyway, I go and I'm peeling off the tiles off the floor with a heat gun, and the door is open, right? And then Buddy walked by. He stopped. He stuck his head in, and he says, "Oh, you're in the grind there," he says. And I said, "Yeah, dude. Somebody's got to get her done, and I'd rather it be me. So here I'm in grind, and they're picking it, right?" And Buddy looks at me and he says, "I want to buy you a coffee." I looked at him, "You want to buy me a coffee?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "A guy just gave me a couple of bucks, and I want to play it forward, and I want to buy you a coffee." And I was like, fucking, there's me sign. There's a sign right there. So I'm like, "Well, buddy, if you want to buy me a coffee, sure, buy me a coffee." Doesn't he go to just around the corner, gets the coffee, comes back, and he's holding everything he owns. And he tells me that the priest of a church across the street here, this church, the priest of this church seen this guy. And I guess this buddy was telling him a story. And the priest gave him enough money to get a bus ticket to go back to Halifax. Right? This church gave him enough money to go back to Halifax. So I said, and he had a couple hours before the bus got there. So I said, "Well, buddy, why don't you come on in here, pull up a chair, and at least you're in here in the heat," you know what I mean? So he ended up coming in and sitting down, and he had all of his stuff, and I helped fucking pass the time with him for the next couple hours until he was ready for the bus. And I told him to. That's how things work like that, eh? That's how things work like that with me, right? I've done that over the years with deliveries too. I see somebody, it just so happened I see people, and for some reason they stick out in my mind, and I find them a couple of weeks later. I'm at their house and I'm bringing them the furniture. just things like that happen, eh? Things like that happen. Pro Painter. Yes, blues. There's a couple of songs on this little thing, but this is the one I like the most. This is the one that I like the most. Hopefully them clouds will open up a little bit. You ever see a snow squall? We might even get a snow squall here in a minute. Cape Breton, East Coast snow squall. Ever hear one of them? That's when all of a sudden she starts snowing. Be snowing out so much you can't see the church across the street. 5 minutes later, the sun's out. If you haven't seen it before, it looks pretty cool. I do have a video of it. It does happen. Oh yeah, that's what happens. It's that Chinooks. I like the Chinooks that they have in Calgary. Goes from -20 to +20 in a couple hours. That's a big difference though, eh? Friggin' rights that is. Well, around here we can have three storms, three weathers patterns in one day, dude. We can have from a sunny day turn out to be a pouring out rain day, turn out to get a little snowstorm later on in the day. We can have her all here. I'm on an island, so the winds pick up pretty quick. All of a sudden, she's all, everything's all calm and cool, and then next thing you know, the winds are picking right up. But now I got this stream going. Now I finally got a webcam after all these years. The weather we're going to get here, I'm going to be live streaming. Wait till we see rainbows going across the sky here. I could see it, dude. I seen a picture of that, of a rainbow wrapped around this church with the church in the middle. And I know that's going to happen. That's going to happen. He's going to give me a sign of that. But when I get thunderstorms, you're going to see the chain lightning. Oh, it's going to be awesome. Wait till you see that. Over across the water there, that's Sydney, Nova Scotia, on the other side of the water there. So you can actually see the storm coming. If it's coming from that way, you can see it coming. All of a sudden, Sydney will disappear. And then about 10 minutes later, you're either in the rain or you're in the snowstorm. We can have three weather patterns in one day here, dude. We can go from a snowstorm to a rainy day to a sunny day to at night the stars are shining bright. I got an app on my phone about the constellations, and I can see the constellations with my phone. And every night during the winter, it's Orion's constellation goes right by this window every night, and it looks pretty cool. Should try to show it some night on my phone here, so you show it on this website so you'll be able to see it. To know that's right there. You can't see it. You can't see the stars with this camera. But I got nights, dude, that the full moon goes by, and you get to see it all. You get to see it peek behind the cross, peek behind the steeple. even line up with the top of the cross. And it's right on this angle too. The couch is right here, so it's right on this angle. Wait till you see that. I seen the moon last night. It's still pretty high in the sky, but it's gonna come back down. And pretty soon, at the end of this street that's going down, you're gonna see a full moon come right up at the bottom of it, dude. I see it all the time. Well, not all the time, but I've seen it many times over the years that I've been here. But now I get to share it, which is, wait, if you stick around, give me some time. We're in no hurry. I've only had a YouTube channel for 10 years. 70,000 views and 302 subscribers. Took a long time. But we're going to up the game now. He's going to help me up the game now. Wait till you see the weather happening there. And then I got the illusions I can do. Wait till you see that shit, folks. And later on, soon enough, I'm going to have live entertainment here. People playing music, guitars, Cape Breton style music. Right up here in the front room. Wait till you see her. Instead of playing this kind of music, I'll have live entertainment. We're in for a treat. This 2020, he's going to get me there. And now he puts this in front of me to get there. Look at the colors. Some beautiful colors, man. Loser in life. Hi, buddy. Just for the record, too, when I say hi, buddy, that means guy or girl. Don't matter. I don't know if you're a guy or a girl. I just say hi, buddy. Anybody pops in here is a friend of mine now. And I'll remember most of your names, too. I got one of those kind of minds. Oh, we got 9 viewers right now. Let me show you a sign, folks. Let me show you a sign that I got. Right quick, I'll tell you a little sign that I got. A couple of years ago, before I got to this apartment, I'm sitting in another apartment and I got the hands on the head like, what the fuck am I gonna do now? What am I gonna do now? I'm ready to, you know. But anyway, I'm at that point again, right? And I look up and I look in my mirror and the reflection of a Jesus picture in my mirror. The fuck, his picture started moving, making faces. I got my sign. There's your sign. Then later on, I figured it out. But you want to see the mirror? You want to see it? Watch this. There's the mirror right there. There's the mirror, the reflection. Watch this. Hopefully you can see it, folks. Try to set it up that you can see a little better. Can you notice his face? Look at notice his hair moving. Yeah. as if it was meant to be. This is the view he gives me. Hi, loser in life. How you doing, buddy? Welcome to Crafted Cam. I am Crafted Man. Alright, I can show you something. Tell me if you can notice this happening. Alright. I showed it a few minutes ago, but nobody made any comments, so I don't know if they're actually watching at the time that I was showing. But I have an old mirror. I have an old mirror. And I want to show you. Just by turning this, I can show you. Alright, you see my old mirror? Here's a sign that I got a couple of years ago. I owned this mirror for say I owned it for 8 years before I noticed this happens. And I only noticed this happens 4 years ago. Let's see the Jesus picture. Watch his face. Can you notice his face is moving? It's like I got Jesus in my front room, dude, and a reflection in my mirror. I had to move. I had to move it though, cause I had it over on the other wall, but I seen it. I had to move it. Now I gotta sit on my couch to see it. Can you tell that it's moving? Oh, the picture don't move without the mirror, dude. The picture's right there. But when you look at the picture through there, it moves. It's an old mirror. I dropped to my knees when I seen that for the first time. I thought I got a sign. I thought I had a sign. Sign from God right there. Like, oh shit, did you see that? I had to get the camera out, dude. I got the original video when that first happened. It's on my playlist. Jesus making faces in the mirror. That's what it's called. I'll even show you. I'll show you the angle that I got, just so we're into that conversation. If I can spin it, let's see if I can spin it without knocking it down. I'll spin it. Oh, we lost her. Let that right there. I got an eagle feather in the middle of it now, but I used to have the Jesus picture sitting there. So when I looked in the mirror and I sit in the chair, our faces will be moving together. But if you looked up at the Last Supper, they're moving around the table. I don't know if you can look in too many mirrors and it looks like they're alive moving around the table. You know what I mean? That could be some freaky stuff. Switch her back. Alright. Well, I almost did when I first seen it, dude. Yeah. I tell you, one time I had the Jehovah's Witnesses came up and knocked on the door. Right? They came up and knocked on the door. 2 people come in. And once they got here, they started not chewing me up, but I was smoking, and they're saying right off the bat, oh, you're a smoker, you shouldn't be smoking on their thing, right? But I got way more belief than these guys put together. I probably got more belief than their church combined. But anyway, they came in and they were kind of judging me right off in the first two steps in my apartment. But before they left, I had them sitting in that chair, looking in the reflection in the mirror, and freaked them right out. They never came back. You think they would come back to see something like that? You think they would have told their high priest, and because that don't happen every day. I've been getting signs my whole life, man, but just the last few years, I've really been seeing them and running with them, right? Going with it. Hey, you know, in my thought, I believe, right? So I should have a lineup at my fucking door here if people want to see something like that. And given the view like this, if they knew me story, they would see the trials and tribulations, dude. And how at a very young age being abandoned, disowned, and left alone, you dig pretty deep inside yourself without even knowing what you're doing, right? And then you be getting the signs without even seeing them. You know what I mean? And I gets them. I gets them all the time. But you get the good with the bad too. It's just the way it goes. I see both. Fair enough. Yeah, dude, I go into this playroom now, and I'll go in and give someone a view. I won't make a comment too often, but I go in and just give them a hit, see what they're doing. It's pretty cool. There's one girl on there that does her own like little jewelry crafts, and she's only a young one, so that's pretty crafty and creative. So I subscribe to her, just respecting the craftsmanship and patience and stuff. And I see people playing music. Some people got fucking like man caves. That's pretty cool. We got cookies. Oh, we got 16 people. That's my record, folks. My record was 14 that I ever had like streaming at one time. We're at 16. Thanks for coming in. Checking out the East Coast Canadian view. Cape Breton Island. What kind of cookies are you, dude? I like the peanut butter chocolate chunk. They're my favorite of all time. Peanut butter chocolate chunk, but you can't buy them unless you make them. Mr. Wilson. We got a Mr. Wilson in this room? No. No. I'm a Mr. Wilson, dude. I'm really in. Straight up. I'm a Wilson. Mr. Wilson. I'm a Dennis. Let's see how this looks for a second. You seen that? If you didn't see that, you seen that for the first time? I just wanted to show that, folks, if anybody was new that was checking this out. Who are these wrapped in cotton wool cunts? funny. Everything's alright, dude. I'm smoking me 420 down in the kitchen. Checking out me view on my cell phone. Looks pretty cool. I got it on my TV. It looks pretty cool on the TV, too. Look at that right now that's going behind the steeple. That looks pretty cool, man. The colors. Doing alright. As we speak. I'm reading what you guys got to say. Right on, boys. Keep doing as you do, because that's what you do best. Do it. But you got a view. You got a view. I'm down there smoking me alien OG, dude. You know what I mean? Smoking me a puff. Doing a hot knife. You ever heard of a hot knife? I'll let you know. But that's what I'm doing right now. Boys want to come in and chat like they know each other. That's great. Beers all around, boys. High fives all around. You all got to do it. Puff, puff, pass, boys. If you're smoking a puff, let us know. So we'll all do the puff, puff, pass. High fives all around. Oh, you remember them, dude? That's what I'm doing right now. I love them. Session, you know what I mean? Do a session, have a coffee, do a couple of hot knives. You know what I mean? My kitchen window is better than this window, so I can get lost in views, dude. You know what I mean? I got another. This is the side window. Wait till you see the front window view. I know, just lapping her up, you know. You should do another hot knife, because I'm doing one right now. Right now. Oh, did you? Oh, that's going older school, dude. When you put your knives in the coals. When you're putting the knives in the coals in the fire, that's old school. That warmed them up pretty fast. That's what I am. That's what I am. I'm a Cape Breton native Newfoundlander, Scottish kind of guy. And many other reincarnations in between. That's what I am. That's what I am. You see that? I was reading that, buddy, from Scotland. That's cool. Where you guys from, anyways? I'm taking it. Most of you are from the States, eh? Buddy from fucking Scotland. Scotland Yard, sir. Got Scottish in us over here. Newfoundlander. Fucking Newfoundlander. You ever heard of a Newfoundlander, dude? The best people you ever meet in the world. Even though I'm a bastard son and disowned an orphan, but I got the best of all inside of me. Cape Breton, Newfoundlander, native, and Scottish. You can't meet such a nicer fella than that, sure. Stirling, Scotland. Sterling. Sterling like silver? We'll call you Sterling Silver. Sterling Silver, Scotland. That was cool a little while ago, dude. I'm still thinking that in my mind. I had 16 viewers in here at one time. That's a history making. That's a history making thing happening right there. I was just thinking about that a minute ago on the last hot knife. You're in Monaco? No, you're not in Monaco. You in Monaco? I've seen videos of Monaco, dude. That's fucking a nice spot. Holy shit. Imagine waking up and seeing that every day. Good spot to be homeless. Hell yeah. Yes, I am right on, dude. That's fucking sweet. Sweet. From Monaco. Yeah. You got a nice view? Look out your window. You probably do. See, people like me or a person like me around there, I see these sights and I see these boats and cruise ships coming in all the time. People don't pay no mind to that, but I do. So that'd be pretty cool. I do. I know French too. Fuck off. It's the only French I know. Fuck off. Part of my French. No, I don't know French though. I know a couple of French words, man, but no, I'm not a French guy. William Wallace. I watched that movie, and I watched a recent documentary on him again. Not a recent documentary, but recent to me again. I watched another one. William Wallace. Imagine that guy. The movies made it out to be a lot more than what it was, but hey, imagine being that guy. Oh yeah, dude. I'm carving my own path. I got that warrior fucking thing in me, dude. I'm telling you. If you only know. But this is where fate brings me right now, meeting someone like you with a view like this to say hello. In between knives. Dude, when I was in elementary, I beat up my French teacher. I beat him up in front of 30 students. I don't really look. Hey, he's the only French teacher that I got to know, and I didn't like him. He picked on me too much that I finally fucking embarrassed him. But I ain't gonna lie, it got me thrown into the butterscotch for a little while. You lose? Yeah, in the end, dude, that's how it turns out. Yeah, if you know that. Yeah, you don't win. You might win the fight, but you don't win the battle. And I was still in the learning process then. But I enjoyed it. And I did win. He was a teacher for 30 years. That's the only time that ever happened. I'll tell you the story why I did it, if you want to know the story why I did it. It's worth telling, so you don't see that I'm a fucking too bad though. I'll tell you right quick if you're still listening. I was living in foster care, right? And when you're in elementary, they get to go on field trips, and I could never go on field trips because I could never go on field trips. I could never have juice or hot dogs or nothing like that has anything to do with school. That's part of that excluding you from the other people. Learn that at a young age anyway, right? But I couldn't go to, so on this time they kept on going to skiing, and I could never go to skiing. But I'm living in this foster home, and the foster people were going to pay for the skiing for me. So I finally allowed to go skiing. And I had problems with this French teacher all the time. Over the years, right? I just had a problem with him. He didn't like me or something. So I says to the guy sitting right next to me, right? Because what we got to do in elementary, I got French in the morning, and then after recess, we're going skiing. And it's the first time I'm going skiing. So I'm pumped. I get to go skiing. So I tells the guy sitting right next to me in the desk, I says, if he comes in and fucks with me today, I says, I'm giving it to him. Right? Me buddy kind of looks and shrugs it off like, yeah, right? So I says, I'm giving it to him. So I even went into my desk, my tote that's over in the corner. I looked for my French book. I couldn't find the fucking French book or nothing. The only time I'm looking for it and I couldn't find it. So I go back and sit on my desk. He comes in right off the bat. Where's your French book at? Where's your scribbler? I can't find it, sir. What do you mean you can't find it? I can't find it. I just checked my thing. All right, go to the office. And I knew just at that moment that he said that I wasn't going to get a chance to go skiing. Because I was kind of bad and they weren't going to let me go skiing now. Right? So I says to him, if I get kicked out, you're fucked. Right? So now if I get kicked out, you're fucked, I says. You're getting it. So I goes off to the principal's office. I sits there, and he tries to call at the foster home I live in. And mind you, there's a bunch of people living there. So there's always somebody that answers the phone. But on that moment, the phone rang and nobody answered it. Nobody answered the phone. So the principal says, all right, we're going back to the class, and you're going to get your hat and your jacket and your things, and you're going home. So I got I'm mad now, right? So I says, all right. I gets up off the chair. He's kind of an older guy. So the way the school was set up, I'm a young kid, right? So I walk real fast. And when I turned down the fucking long hallway, I fucking ran like a motherfucker. I opened up the door, right? And he's standing there. I said, I told you you're fucked. And I fucking started beating on him. I did. I started beating on him. And all the kids in the class were kind of probably freaked out because I was focusing on the teacher, right? But I remember I had him over the teacher's desk on the head of a student's desk, and I was fucking giving it to him. I was mad, dude. I was mad. So at the end of all that, I fucking scruffed him. The principal came, and I kind of took off. And I kicked the fucking 2 doors open like a fucking rah. You want to talk about adrenaline? You know what I mean? Knowing that I'm fucked. Knowing that I'm going to be so much fucking shit. But you son of a... Right? So I whooped him. So anyways, it was 20 years later. I got my daughter and my girlfriend, and she got the free skiing pass. And just the way fate is, my daughter's school's going there on the day that we get to go, right? So I end up going there with my girlfriend and meeting up with my daughter and doing like the fucking chaperone parent thing. It was cool. That was cool. I even got pictures of it, right? But here's the thing though. When I tried to put on a pair of skis, I couldn't stand up. You know what I mean? I couldn't stand up, dude. They call the thing a bunny hill for beginners. I couldn't even get up on the bunny hill. So that was fucking funny. That was funny. So anyway, in the end, I really couldn't ski anyway. But that teacher, he took it away from a little kid like that. And you never know, right? That skiing could have been that something that could have been my something back in that day without knowing. And he had some problem with me, and he took it away from me, and I fucking pounded him for doing it. I did. I didn't even get charged or nothing, to be truthful with you, in the end of that one, because I didn't want to bring that up to the media. You know what I mean? Tarnish that school legacy and that guy's teaching career. hmm He just did it for many years until he met with me, and I'm like, fuck that, dude. You ain't doing me like that. And then 20 years later, he was on Canadian's Worst Handyman. And he didn't get number one as worst handyman. He got number two. So I was roaring the whole fucking time. You're not much of an idiot, dude, that you even prove to the world how much of a fucking idiot you are. And you want to fucking do that to a kid like me? I'm glad I give it to you. You know what I mean? Ba-boom. If anybody got this far in this on the stream, then they got a little taste of something. And then that's only at the age of fucking what? 13? 14? And that's already living through about fucking 10 foster homes by then. You know what I mean? But that's where that foster home saved my life, because that lady Mary never gave up on me. So she fought for me. So that's why I'm here, folks. I just go with the fucking wind. Small victory. Yes, dude. It was actually a huge victory. But it's a hard thing when you know that when you kick those doors open, you're fucked now. You know the cops are going to be coming looking for you, and you know you're going to get caught, and you got to pay the fucking piper. But they just sent me home. On that one, I got lucky. Those are the signs. Yeah, that was a good one, dude. That was a good one. But again, one more, the final of that one is I did see him. I did see that teacher years later, and I did apologize for doing that, right? Because the guy did have kids. He probably went home and took it out on his wife and his kids or something, right? You know what I mean? So I apologize for doing that and traumatizing the guy. You might have traumatized me, but I did him 10 times worse. I haunted that guy's fucking dreams. He wasn't the only principal either I haunt their dreams. I'll tell you more stories. Someday. Oh yeah, dude. I'll tell you some stories. Eye for an eye. So I literally went fucking, just to give you a little bit, I literally lost my mind and went insane many times before I hit 10, dude. You know what I mean? And then when I got 11 and 12, I just lost. I was losing her. Good thing I found Mary. Mary found me. But again, we go back. That's just the story of the French people. I met that French fella. I didn't get along with him at all. Didn't get along with that fella at all. Alright, darling. You alright? Huh? You alright, darling? Oh, she's a good girl, darling. That's a good girl, darling. Getting it up. And just keep this in mind too, folks, while you're watching. If you notice the cops going by, because there's a guy running around this town, just shot 3 people about 2 weeks ago, and he's still running free. 3 counts of fucking attempted murder on him, and they can't find him. I know who he is, but they can't find him. And something's telling me he might be that guy you see going up the road with the 4-wheeler. That happened a couple of times now. He may just be the guy on that 4-wheeler whipping her up the road very quick. Well, looks like somebody just donated to the Make-A-Wish clothing. Nice. So keep it in mind. If you may just see the cops up and down the road more, because Buddy used to just live down the road there, and they're still looking for him. Here's my old buddy Freddie, look. Oh, Freddie Bluefarb. Freddie don't know it, but he just went live. That's Freddie Bluefarb. He's well known around here, folks, that fella. He's got a business downtown that's probably been about 50, 60 years old, and he's got nothing in there now, and it's this old stuff, and he ain't making no money. He just got it. It's an eyesore kind of thing. And he had it for years. But when I lived downtown, I lived right across the street from it. And the guy had his twitches, you know what I mean? He had his compulsiveness. And the way he would lock and unlock that door, holy fuck. I could hear it. I'd be in my front room, and I could hear him doing the clicking, click, 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 and then clicking a bunch of times, go to walk away, go back, click it about 30 more times, walk away, then come back and even click it another 100 times, and keep doing that for fucking like 5 or 6, 7 times, and be like, holy fuck, walk away, Freddy, walk away. I'd even see him opening the store just to go back 2 minutes later and close it. Just to go back 20 minutes later and open it. But good fella, harmless guy, good man. I respect him. And he's old school rich. So he's rich, that guy. But that's my old buddy Freddie. We got 3 kids. 3 kids with fucking sleds. They're going sliding. They're going sliding. Two girls and a boy. Hey, that they're gonna have some fun right now. But with that being said, folks, we'll call that a stream. We'll call that a stream. Thank you very much for checking this out.